Hey, what is going on everybody? It is Nolan or the Optimistic Gamer here and welcome back to another build tutorial. Today we are going to be building the storage facility, the new and improved storage facility from the survival series. I finally updated to 1.20 in this tutorial world. This build kind of forced me to do that. There's not really an alternate build to this with the amount of cherry wood that it uses, but I'm glad I finally got that out of the way. It really wasn't that much work. So anyway, let's get right into the build. The materials, including the exact counts that you will need, are down in the description, so go ahead and gather all of those. I will say the roof is made of dark prismarine, but I used warped planks in the survival world just because of how expensive dark prismarine is. So if you can't get your hands on that, head to the nether and get a bunch of warped planks. This is a pretty late game build. Don't try to do this as on your first night or anything like that as an early build, because it is very resource intensive, but it looks absolutely stunning. So let's jump right into the build. So we are going to start kind of towards the front, and we are going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 mangrove logs. These are all stripped, by the way, just like that. And then we are going to leave a 4-block gap and do the same thing again. And then we are going to leave a 9-block gap going the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and do the same thing again, 5 mangrove logs, and then another 4-block gap and 5 more logs, just like this. So we should have a 9-block gap here in the middle, 4 on either side. And then we are going to do one more 9-block gap on either side. So we should now look like this, a 9-block gap, 4, 9, 4, 9, just like that. That is the front face right here without this little door, but we can go ahead and add in the logs for this. So find that middle 9-block gap, and then from either of those logs, we are going to leave a 4-block gap going towards the front, and we are going to place 6 mangrove logs, not 5, 6 of them, just like that. So 1 block above the rest of those pillars, and that should look like this. The rest of this is pretty simple. Go to the side and working towards the back, another 9-block gap, and then one more 9-block gap, and we can build these up to 5 blocks in total, and then we are just going to go all the way across the back with those 9-block gaps, so we can line up with the mangrove over there, and we should have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 plank or 1 log perfectly centered, just like that, in the back with our 9-block gaps. And then again, we can leave another 9-block gap, which will line up with that mangrove pillar right there and these, and then one more here in the corner, and we can line it up once more in the middle and build all of these up to 5 blocks in height. Once we are done with that, it should look like this. So these are all 9-block gaps except for these 2 right here, which are 4. So let's move on to the walls now. Take out your deep slate tiles, and we are going to place a row of deep slate tiles going all the way around, kind of lining this entire build on the first level. And these are placed on the inside of those pillars. Here in the front, we can extend those to the front right there, and then place 1 in the middle, but we are going to have doors 3 blocks wide on each side, just like that. So that should now look like this, and then we can take our cherry planks and leave a 2-block gap, and then on the third, we will do the same pattern going all the way around on all sides. And then here in the middle, we can place cherry planks on top of the deep slate tiles there and extend those across. So it should look like this. Now the windows for the 4-block gaps, we are going to center a 2-block wide window just like this. Do that from the outside, not from the inside, because if you center it from the inside right here, Well, I guess that's kind of centered. Okay, oh well. Anyway, a 2-block wide window centered in those 4-block gaps. For the 9-block gaps, these are all going to follow the same pattern, but they are a little bit different. So place cherry planks on the outer 2 blocks, and then we are going to have a 2-block wide window. Same thing here, just like that, and a 1-block wide window in the middle. So lock in that pattern, get that down, because we are doing that for every single section. Again, the planks on the outside, 2-block gap, and then a 1-block gap window, and another 2-block gap. Do that going all the way around. Once you are done, it should look like this. So now from the inside we can go in and we can fill in all of those empty spaces where those mangrove pillars are, just like this with our cherry planks. For the windows, we are going to use red stained glass blocks, and we can go ahead and fill all of those in now. And now all of our windows are in place. On top of all of these cherry planks, we are going to do a row of deep slate tiles once again, and these will go all the way around on all sides, including here on the front. And the nice thing about this build is it is very symmetrical, where we do one section of windows, the rest will look the exact same. So we are going to take our mangrove stairs and we are going to place upside down stairs on all of those mangrove logs except for these front 2 pillars. So on these corners, we are going to have 4 upside down stairs just like this, and then on these sides it will be 3. And we can go ahead and do one more upside down stair on the inside of these front pillars. So now we have these stairs that stick out, and then stairs underneath or on the sides of those pillars. For the sides, we are going to place upside down stairs once again underneath all of those stairs, and these will be on all of these pillars all the way around. So we will have this, but we're not going to do them on the front of those pillars. So that should now look like this going all the way around. On these little 4-block wide sections, we can connect those stairs with some slabs on those the upper halves of those blocks, just like this. But we are going to hold off on these slabs right here and stairs because we have a little bit of a special pattern. So the way this will work is we will place 2 slabs extending out, 1, 2, and 1, 2, again in line with those stairs, so on the top halves, and then our upside down mangrove stairs once again. Same thing on this side, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then upside down mangrove stairs. Here in the middle, connect with mangrove slabs, so those stairs are in line with those cherry plank pillars that we have in between the windows. I'll show you that one more time. So once again, where we have these stairs, we will place 1, 2, and 1, 2 for these slabs. Same thing on this side, 2 and 2. And then we will place upside down mangrove stairs sticking out from either of those slabs and connect the middle with slabs. So we can go ahead and do this on all of these sections now. And when you have finished, it will look something like this. So we will have those little half-block cutouts and these stairs that kind of stick down. And that is pretty much the first level minus the detail, which we will do at the end. So now we are returning to our stripped mangrove logs, and we will be placing these logs on all of these stairs that stick out, except in the corners we are going to place a placeholder block in between those stairs, and that is where our logs are going to be. We can go ahead and actually do all of those real quick, and then go ahead and place those logs on all of those stairs that are sticking out. Again, these are right side up logs. So that should look about like this. We are going to extend all of these logs up for a total of 6. So we are going to add 5 additional logs to all of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just like that. Do that on all of these logs. There we go. So that should look like this. Now on the top and bottom of all of these logs, we are going to connect them with sideways logs, just like this. So we should have a 4-block wide section in between all of these sideways logs. And we can go ahead and do this, going all the way around, including here in the middle, where we will just have one long continuous section that extends all the way across. And that is going to look something like this. Now you may have noticed that these two sections here in the middle are still 9 blocks wide, while the rest of them are 10. Don't worry, we do compensate for that with our windows, as you can see right back here. So now we can fill in with cherry planks on top of those logs here on the bottom and underneath those logs on the top, and this will go all the way around. And that will look something like this. So now, just as we did before, we are going to make the outlines for the windows. Start by filling in the edges next to all of those mangrove logs. That's going to give us a little bit more of a border to work with. So right here, for all of these sections that are 10 blocks wide, we are going to have 3 2-block wide windows, just like that, which means 2 1-block wide pillars in the middle. And we can do that for all of these 10-block wide sections that are touching those corners, because when we went out by 1 block right here, it extended that from 9 to 10, but of course these are still lined up with the bottom. For these, we are actually going to have 2 windows instead of 3, and we are going to go 2 planks in on the inside, just like this, and 1 row of planks in the middle. Everywhere else, though, is going to be the 3 2-block wide windows. And then for this large section here in the front, we are going to have 2 2-block wide windows, each with a single pillar in between them, and then we can just fill in everything in between that because we have that roof that extends in the middle. So now we are just about to the roof. Actually, we have a little bit more detail to add. Take out your deep slate tile stairs, and on all of these corners right here, we are going to place upside down deep slate tile stairs. Do that again for all 4 of these corners. And then for the pillars in the middle, we are going to place a top half slab and upside down deep slate tile stairs facing in either direction. Same thing on all of these pillars again, top half slabs and upside down deep slate tile stairs extending out of those slabs. So it's all about the symmetry with this build. Once you have done that, go to those pillars, and then go down 1 diagonal from those deep slate stairs, the upside down stairs, and place a full block of deep slate. Same thing right here in this corner, except we will have to place a little bit of a placeholder there, a full block of deep slate going down diagonally from those stairs. And that will look something like this. So now we can connect these deep slate slabs going across the top, just like that on all sides, and once again leaving a half block gap in between those. We can connect those going across once again. And that is how that will look going all the way around. So let's go ahead and make the outline for the roof. We will start in each of these corners right here where we have those little notches. We will place 2 mangrove logs on top of that, and then 2 more diagonally going up, and then we are just going to continue that pattern until we are 4 in height, just like that. If you want to save on mangrove wood, you can go ahead and get rid of those blocks. They will not be visible because we will have stairs like that will kind of cover that up. But if you want to leave them either way, it doesn't matter. So that is how all of the corners will look. Again, that's 2, and then again, and we just go up diagonally each time, but also working our way towards the middle. And you can wreck that block if you want. Of course, this one is there to stay. We will also do the same pattern for each of these pillars. On top of that slab right there, a mangrove log, and then again, and that will go up for a total of 4. Just like that. Do that on all sides, including the middle right here. So find that middle block, line it up with that pillar at the bottom, and we will do this going all the way around. And that will look like that. So that is the outline for the roof. And now let's go ahead and fill in, well, there's a lot that we can do right now. Let's go ahead and fill in all of the glass going around in between the walls on the second floor. There we go, and then we can take our dark prismarine stairs or warped planks, whatever you are using, of course the stairs, and we are going to fill in between all of the mangrove logs that we have on the roof going all the way across. Here in the corners, well, we won't be turning the stairs because we have the mangrove logs placed there instead, and we are going to place these 3 rows up. We are not going to go all the way to the top. Instead, we are going to place a row of upside down stairs once we get to the top. So again, we have our row of 3 stairs, just like this, going all the way across. But here at the top, on the back of that 3rd row, we are just going to place upside down stairs. We can fill that one in underneath as well. And we can go ahead and do this going all the way around, and then we will have a finished roof. And when the roof is complete, it should look like this. So we now have pretty much the entire structure all built up. What we have left is the roof here on the front, which we will tackle next, and then some of the finer details, of course the glass on top and the floor inside. We are very close though, so let's go ahead and take care of this roof right here. And we will start with our mangrove logs placed sideways, going across the front and on the sides, just like this, following that same pattern that we have all the way around. And then we are going to surround those logs on all sides with deep slate tile slabs on the upper half of those logs, just like that. And then this is where we do the curve of the roof. Follow along closely because it can get very easy to get lost, but it really isn't that difficult. Go 1 slab in on the front and place a slab, and then place a full block of deep slate tiles. We will go ahead and mirror that right now, a slab 1 block in, and a full block of deep slate tiles. And then we will extend those slabs in by 1 on either side, just like that. So right now we have 2 slabs and a full block. On top of those slabs, place a right side up stair on either side, and an upside down stair on either side, just like this. And then we are going to do that 1 more time, a right side up stair, and an upside down stair. On top of those upside down stairs, place a full block of deep slate tiles, just like that, a right side up stair, on top of those, an upside down stair in between them, and a right side up stair on top of that. So that is our finished curve. I will just pause here for just a moment so that you can take a look at that and get that shape down. In between this gap right here, we are going to fill in with cherry planks, and we are going to leave this middle block open just like that. So we're just covering up all of those gaps, and from the front, we have that middle cherry plank open, 1 block below it, 2 blocks above. We can go ahead and place in some red stained glass there as well. And that is the roof outline, so now we are just going to match that, extending into the main part of the build. So we will also need some dark prismarine blocks and slabs. And then right here, when we get to the top, actually, let's go ahead and fill in the rest of these slabs down here, get that out of the way. But when we get up here to the top with the blocks, we will extend these all the way into that build. We will not change anything, we are just going to remove some of those deep slate slabs. And then right here, same thing with these stairs, extend those all the way to the wall, removing the deep slate tile slabs where we need to. Right here, we are just going to take some deep slate stairs and place those upside down to finish off that pattern. same thing right there. So that's how that looks. And then right here at the top, a row of dark prismarine slabs. And that is the roof on the front. For the floor on the inside, you can go ahead and remove all of the grass or whatever material you have on that first level and replace that with whatever floor you would like to use. I'm using dark oak. It has a very nice contrast with the brighter pink, but again, you can use whatever you would like for the floor. For the upper level, however, we are going to place dark oak on the blocks right here that are exposed, and then we are going to extend it out by an additional 2 on each side. So just like that. So it's gonna hang over the edge by 2 blocks on all 4 sides, just like this. And then we can go ahead and fill in, going all the way around. So once you have done that, it should look about like this. Take out some cherry stairs now, and we are going to place these upside down against all of the deep slate tiles that we have on the inside. This is going to help to add a little bit more detail to the ceiling on the inside and also block some of those outside materials that we used. Right here on the inside as well, we can go ahead and get rid of those logs going across the top and replace that with dark oak planks. That way we have a uniform ceiling throughout. You could even turn this into a secret room if you wanted to. We can go ahead and fill that in with dark oak planks as well. I suppose you could also just take out that wall and have it opened up a little bit, of course, filling in those gaps, but something like that if you would like. Now we have to do the roof on the whole inside part. We have this outer roof, but we have to do the inner roof. Luckily, it is very simple and it follows the exact same pattern as the second floor. So from these sideways mangrove logs that we have, we are going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 dark oak planks or whatever material you like. And we are going to do this on all 4 sides and basically fill in exactly how we did the second floor with our dark oak planks going all the way around, leaving that gap in the middle. So that will look like this. And now we are very close to being finished. Take out some white glass and we are going to make this roof pattern. So to do this, go to either of these edges on the short side and just fill in a row of white glass going across. Same thing here, white glass going across. On that first corner, we are going to place 1, same thing over here. And then we are going to go up and diagonal and do 2 like that. Up and diagonal, up and diagonal again and do 2 more like this. And then 3 across the middle. We will fill in this glass so you don't have to wreck where I'm wrecking it. I'm just doing that so it's a little easier to see. But that is the shape that we have. Same thing over here on this side. It's 1 and then 2. 2, and 3. Once again, 1, 2, 2, and 3. We are going to connect all of these rows going across. You can also fill in that glass, I suppose, if you want to. If you have the extra resources to do so, it'll just make it look a little more complete and not like it is floating on top. We will also fill in on this side, and same thing on this side as well. And then we are just going to fill in all of these rows going across. And we're not going to do the corners, we're just going to leave them diagonal like that, but they will go all the way across and look like that once it is finished. And there we go, the finished roof is now put on. So the building is complete now, it is 100% finished. Except we are just missing some detail. The overall facade of this building looks very flat, so we are gonna spice it up a little bit with fences and trapdoors and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and grab our next set of materials. So for these, we have mangrove trapdoors and fences, cherry trapdoors, fences, and gates, and spruce fence gates, spruce trapdoors, and spruce fences as well. And let's go ahead and pull out some lanterns too. Why not? So let's begin with the 4-block wide sections down here. Now the easiest way to keep track of all of this is it's going to be cherry on the bottom row, as you can see right here, and mangrove in between the windows. So let's start with the cherry fence in each of those corners, and we will always place the cherry fence gates underneath the windows, just like this. Same thing on the section of 9, but we'll get to that in a second. And then on top of the fences, it will always be mangrove fence, just like that. On the first floor, we are using cherry trapdoors, and we can go ahead and do this once again on these 2 sections of 4. So it's cherry fence in the corners, again everywhere where there isn't a window above it. Cherry fence gates underneath the windows. Cherry trapdoors on those windows since it is the first level. And mangrove fence in between all of those windows. It is the exact same pattern for the 9-block wide sections, so it is cherry fence gates or cherry fences underneath the full cherry planks, gates underneath the windows, mangrove fences in between the windows, and cherry trapdoors on them, and we can close those up. And that is how the detail looks. So we are going to do that on all sides for this first level. And once you have done that on all sides, it will look like this. Now we are getting very close to that finishing point. Let's go ahead and do the second level. On these windows, instead of cherry planks, because that would be a lot of pink if we had that, as you can see right here, it would just be a little overwhelming. We are going to use mangrove trapdoors instead, and we will place those on all of the windows, and it will look like that and help break up that pink just a little bit. So we can do that on all of the windows, and then we are going to kind of section off that first level from the second level. Underneath all of these full deep slate blocks, we are going to place 4 spruce fences. So it will look like this going all the way around, including those corners and these right here in the front. Do that on all sides. And once you have done that, you can take out your spruce trapdoors. Now you may need some scaffolding for this, or if you are on this ground level, we are going to place these trapdoors above those sideways mangrove logs. So these will be on that first row of cherry planks in between all of those spruce fences. Again, you can stand on the ground and place those, and we are not closing these or anything, we are just going to leave them open, but we will place these in between all of the fences that we just placed, including on those mangrove logs in the corners, and it will go all the way around like this. Right here on the front, we won't place any on top of those slabs where that roof is. So now we can take our spruce fence gates, and we are going to place these underneath all of those trapdoors that we just placed, and I missed one right there. And we are actually going to open all of these fence gates. So it will look like this, and we can do that going on all sides. And then go ahead and place in the rest of the mangrove trapdoors if you haven't already. And once you have finished that, all of the detail on the outside is complete. Place some lanterns underneath all of those spruce fences just to light up the outside a little bit, and it will also spill some of that light into the inside and help light that up as well. And then right here on the front, we are missing just a little bit of detail, so we're going to follow that same pattern. 2 mangrove fences on those middle 2 cherry planks, and then cherry fence underneath, and then we can take out some more mangrove stairs and slabs, place those upside down on the sides, and then here in the front, we are just going to face these out like that, and fill in the slabs connecting those stairs. So that looks like this. One more trapdoor here on the front, a mangrove trapdoor just to break up that pink, And that is the finished, that is the finished storage building by itself. There's a little bit more I want to do. Actually, I forgot. Here on the roof, we are going to do a fence pattern. So take your cherry fences, and we are going to place these connected to all of these mangrove blocks right here, the logs, except on these corners right here, don't place any fence there. Only on the inside logs. So that will look something like this. Again, those corners don't have any fences connected to them. And then we are going to place fence gates alternating with those fences, just like this. And this will go all the way around. And then we will fill in all of these gaps with cherry fences. So it alternates between fences and fence gates, just like this. It certainly helps to add a little bit more detail to our overall build. Now, in the Optimistic Survival series, I am leaving this as an open concept. I don't actually have any doors on this, but if you would like to add some doors, what you can do is take some cherry doors or mangrove doors. We'll test both of these and see how they look. And you can go ahead and place these from the insides on the sides, just like this. And then in the middle, you can place some mangrove trapdoors and go ahead and close those like that. And then here at the top, let's go ahead and do some upside down mangrove stairs. Actually, I just realized I was going to do a cherry door as well, just to compare. And we will see how these look. And then if we did upside down mangrove for the cherry, and upside down cherry for the mangrove. You know, I kind of like this one a little bit more. It's a little less busy. So we will go with that. Of course, you can also place trapdoors across the top like that if you want, whatever you prefer. But again, I really like the open concept of this, so I may even just place some upside down stairs here, just to have a little bit of an arch, some trapdoors in those corners to really sell that look. And there we go. Maybe even connect those at the bottom. There we go. There's our entrance, and there is our finished storage building. Now, I can do a tutorial for this tree later, but I'm sure this tutorial at this point is getting very long, so I should probably end it there. But here is how I've configured the chests, just to give you a little bit of a reference. Of course, I just copied and pasted this from the survival world, so it's still missing a couple chests here and there. But with some torches, you can use those to light them up, and you can place them around, or you could take some lanterns and place them from the ceiling. For the tree, I have some lanterns going around this staircase here in the middle, and some up in the tree as well. So you can get creative with how it's lit. Of course, this window will stop mob spawns during the day, but it will not stop them at night. So definitely be mindful of that. But that is pretty much it for this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was easy to follow along, and definitely check out some of the other tutorials if you enjoyed this one. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you don't miss out on daily content as soon as I publish it. Check the description for some more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!